Good evening, everybody. My name is Andre Jones, and I'm the athletic director at Charleston County High School. Here with an update of how high school sports will be conducted for the 2020-21 season with our athletics and activities return to play timeline. But first, this question is often posed to the athletic department. There are students participating in other sports programs such as AAU and recreational teams. Why isn't the high school allowing athletes to participate or utilize the premises? Here is the best answer in short form. These outside programs, such as Recreation and AAU, are run by private organizations and entities, and they have their own set of guidelines that they abide by. Many of these private organizations have a national entity and receive funding from participants. Simply put, those participating in these events, including the parents, know the risk involved. The Virginia High School League and Chelsea High School is a public organization. The high school has a responsibility to keep student athletes safe. And this year, we felt postponing athletics until the winter sports season was the best situation for our student athletes, our coaches, and our families. With the guidance from the state and the Virginia High School League, we have developed this plan that we are presenting to bring back students for athletics and activities. Most importantly, everybody must remember that participating in high school athletics is a privilege, not a guarantee. We are student athletes here at Charleston County High School. And we are going to, as a athletic department, we're going to offer as many opportunities for our student athletes to compete in a safe environment. Our presentation today will cover what the athletic department has been doing, what we're doing to prepare for our student athletes to return to campus, and what the 2021 athletic season will look like for spectators, students, and athletes here at Charleston County High School. So, on March 13, 2020, Virginia Governor Ralph Northam ordered the closure of all school systems due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Because of this closure, schools had to see the cancellation of the Winter Sports Championships and the Spring Sports season. For the last 7 months, Charles City County High School's athletic department has been working with Virginia High School League, regional athletic directors, and district athletic directors to come up with a plan to safely bring back student athletes to a field of competition. Charles City High School athletics has been working diligently. In preparation to this, coaches have been undergoing COVID-19 training and workshops. I have met with the coaches, both virtual and in person, to prepare them for this return for when facilities will open. A virtual meeting was also held with our public to update them on the status and the proposals recommended by the Virginia High School League to reopen athletics activities. Athletic schedules had to be redone as part of the modified plan approved by the Virginia High School League for the 2020 and 2021 season. So, this is our proposal for Charleston County High School athletes to return to the premises. We are proposing them to return back in cohorts beginning on November 4th, 2020. First cohort is for conditioning only. So basically, athletes who are wishing to condition may return. Parents, please know that conditioning is completely optional and it is not mandated. So why did we choose the date of November 4th? First, November 4th provides a 2 week pre-quarantine period of 14 days. Essentially, if you have a student athlete who is interested in conditioning, they need to quarantine themselves for 14 days. Also, the November 4th date provides a 1 month time period for conditioning. With official sports beginning on December 7th, it provides ample opportunity to get the student to get back in some sort of shape prior to tryouts, competition, and so forth. It also allows the facilities to be adequately prepared for students to return in a safe manner. We take COVID-19 and the coronavirus very seriously here at Charleston County High School, and we understand that athletes, coaches are anxious to get back and participate and be on the campus. But we want to make sure that our facilities are sanitized and up to standards before they make their return. So, how will these cohorts work? Well, coaches will be required to schedule times to use the premises with me, the athletic director. That includes the gym, the athletic fields, and the weight room. All areas will be sanitized before, during, and after the use. Basically, we want to keep these areas clean and accessible for all student athletes so that there will be no fears when they come use these facilities. Students who do choose to use these facilities must have a signed physical and completed handbook prior to participate in conditioning, tryouts, and any Virginia High School League activity hosted by Charleston County High School. These handbooks and physicals are available in the main office, and they will be uploaded to the school's website at www.ccps.net. Temperature screenings will be taken upon entering the complex. Any signs or symptoms from an athlete will result in immediate dismissal from the property. So basically, our students will get temperature checks. If it's abnormal, they will be sent home. That also applies for the coaches. We're not taking any risks with any student or coach with the current state of the COVID-19 pandemic. Most importantly, the same cohort will not be on the premises during consecutive days. This will allow for easier contact tracing if necessary. For example, if I have a group of young men and women who are weightlifting on Monday, they will not be allowed back on the premises until Wednesday. Coaches will be required to wear face masks unless they are 10 feet away from the student athletes. For example, if a coach is instructing their student athletes, say from half court while they're on the baseline, or on a football field while they're running around the track, they do not need a mask. Student athletes will be required to wear face masks unless they are actively participating in the activity. For example, if an athlete is running or doing a conditioning drill, no mask will be required. If they are standing on the sideline listening to instructions of how to do the drill, they must have their mask on. Locker room use will be minimized. Equipment will be sanitized as necessary. Absolutely no visitors or spectators will be allowed at conditioning or practices. They must remain in their vehicle or leave the premises. Once again, this is due to the safety of our student athletes, our coaches, and other families. How will game day look for our student athletes? For away games, temperature checks will take place prior to boarding the bus. All student athletes must wear face masks and will sit one to a seat unless they are in the same household. For home games, student athletes will be placed in an area away from the public and wear masks until appropriate time to participate in contests. This is something we do now, so it's simply we're adding the face mask element. Now, this is a very important part of our presentation. Game day for spectators. Currently, as of today, which is October 20th, 2020, only 250 people are allowed for a gathering. That number includes participants, athletes, referees, workers, etc. Even if that number increases, the athletic department will utilize social distancing. So, a perfect example, a football team for Charles City has about 30 players. Their opponent has roughly 50 players. You can factor another 10 people for coaches, 5 for referees, and let's say 5 workers for the concession stand. That's roughly 100 people. From there, we're only allowed an additional 150 people into the premises. That is as of today. Spectators must wear masks and will be subject to temperature checks. Spectator is entering with a group or a household. All members of the household must pass a temperature screening. Once again, that is being done as a safety precaution. If you live in the household with a person and one of those people have a fever or may have sickness, we want to make sure that we keep everybody safe and keep all of that contained. Failure to pass the first temperature screening will result in a retest later. A second failure will, from the retest, that person and that group will not be admitted to the facility. If a person fails to leave the facility in a timely manner, it may result in a denial of any attending any other athletic activity on campus, and it may be reported to the authorities for trespassing. Those are extreme measures that we here at Charleston County High School do not want to deal with. So if we ask you to leave, please leave. We're doing this for the safety of our student athletes, of our coaches, of the other spectators. We want to have a safe environment to bring sports back. Continuing, tickets may be limited on pre-sale tickets, and they are not guaranteed as of today. Assigned seating may take place if social distancing practices are not met. Basically, I'm a strong proponent that we are all young adults, and we can make wise decisions. If we're abiding by anywhere from a 3 to 6 foot distancing guidelines, please sit 3 to 6 feet away from other parties to make them comfortable. I understand that we want to see each other, hug each other, spend time with our friends, but we still need to be mindful of these practices. Now, a mask-free area will be designated for concession stands this year. Normally, we allow spectators to eat and enjoy the contest, whether it's in the gym, outside the football stadium. But unfortunately, due to COVID-19, we're not going to take that chance. So we're going to move these events and our concessions this year. That's currently just for this year only. So hopefully we can return back to normal, but please be compliant with this. Indoor events will have a concession stand in the cafeteria with tables for social distancing, and outdoor events will be planned to have a mask-free area near the vicinity of the concession stand. Understand that mask-free is for eating and drinking purposes only. So no conversing, definitely no smoking on premises, none of that. Game day also continue. More information. Spectators must leave the facility at the end of the game. So no loitering around. Once the game is over, please make your way to your cars, vehicles. Um, there may be designated doors to exit the facility to mitigate congestion. Now, if you're a parent of a student athlete who needs a ride home, we're going to ask you to go to the cafeteria this year because there's adequate spacing, there's no congestion in the hallways or in the canopy area. And that will allow, and we'll make sure your student athletes find you in the cafeteria. So, here are some important dates that are coming up. We're going to have a schedule reveal on October 30th. And we're going to reveal our athletic schedules. And because we want to build excitement, our schedules are about 97, 98% complete. And we want student athletes and parents to know that Charles City County Athletics are back and that we want you all to be excited and we encourage you all to bring your support here. As I said on November 4th, optional condition for student athletes will take place. Coaches will have to schedule it, and student athletes must have a physical and signed handbook. Believe it or not, November 9th will mark our first day of practices for activity, as our Scholastic Bowl will begin their practice date. These practices may be conducted virtually, as they are the first organization that will actually represent us returning back from this current pandemic. On December 7th, that is the first day of girls and boys basketball practice. On December 14th, first day of cheerleading and indoor and track and field practice will take place. In November, we're going to have a meet and greet with coaches of all of our sports. We want coaches to be able to reach out to the public, reach out to those student athletes who may be interested in the sport, such as even down the line, baseball, softball, volleyball, football. We want the coaches to welcome you, your student athlete, into our Panther family. We also encourage our coaches to do those things because there are some items that coaches may have options for students to have, such as they want the students and parents to invest in team shoes or travel shoes. So this is the opportunity where parents can directly get information from the coach themselves. So when these dates are ready to be released, I will have posts on social media to announce it. So there will be questions, comments, concerns that you may, if you have any of those, you can address them to me and with the following email at the end of the last slide. So the best way to get updates on what's going on with Charles City County High School athletics, if you go to Instagram or Twitter, you can follow us at CC High Athletics. If you're on Facebook, you can type in Charles City County, followed by your sport of choice in the search bar. For example, you want to see Charles City County High School boys basketball, type in that. There's a group just for boys basketball. Same thing with girls basketball, cheerleading, track, volleyball, baseball, and softball. So those are the areas that you can follow. So once again, my name is Andre Jones, and I am the athletic director at Charles City County High School. The best way to contact me is by email at cchiathletics@gmail.com, as I am usually responsive to my emails more than phone calls because I'm staring at a computer about 90% of the day. So I thank you for this presentation, and I hope that you will join us in our celebration and the return of Charles City County High School athletics.